Hello, everyone, and welcome to Stories from an Ugly Childhood. I am your host, the Crap Artist, and today, entry 11 is titled Bike Rides and Boy Trouble. Yes, that's what we will call it. So, I was watching a bunch of videos about emotional literacy this morning, and then reading comments, and someone in the comments section also had a nurse practitioner for a mother who was absolutely the worst person in the world they could be to them. And I was reminded of the time when I was in 10th grade. I had already started doing shit like running away and smoking cigarettes and meeting up with boys and shoplifting and shit like that. I was a pretty shitty kid. And meeting up with older men too. Yes. And my mom had a habit of dumping me out at the skating rink or the mall and just leaving me there for like 4 or 5 hours while she and her boyfriend did whatever. And yeah, completely unattended from 13 to 16. This was a common habit. But anyway, so I was 14 years old, and I had been um, let me find a good way to put this. Kicking it. There we go. Well, we'll just use slang. I had been kicking it with a much older person, much older man. Very much illegal. And I thought that he loved me, and I let him get entirely too far physically with me. And when he was done with me, he was done with me. And I was devastated. I was absolutely beside myself devastated. And I had already started doing shit like scratching the skin off of my arms and running broken glass down my legs. And that night, when when the new girl started attacking me at the mall and I got home, that night I found myself a disposable razor, broke it open, and just went to town on my left wrist. Underneath this tattoo is a lot of scars. Um, and my mom caught me. She caught me. And she bandaged me up, and the entire time she was bandaging me up, she screamed at me about how I have mutilated myself and no one's ever gonna want me because I'm fucked myself up and I'm covered in scars and blah blah blah. And it was all just about appearances. All about appearances. She didn't ask me why I did it. She didn't console me. She didn't want to know anything. She was just mad. And then she made me get my bike out and ride up and down our street for 2 hours while she stood at the foot of the driveway and watched me. And she told me when she thought I'd had enough. And her reasoning behind it was to tire me out so that I couldn't think about it anymore. And the next day I had to go to school, and my homeroom teacher caught a glimpse of what I had done to myself, and that spiraled into my very first stay at a ha-ha hacienda. for lack of a nicer way to put it. And that's for another video. But for my whole life, my mom has always avoided the harder emotional issues, the harder things to deal with. Like when I told on my father, she just, she just threw herself into her work. She started working at another hospital and all kinds of overtime shifts and didn't want to deal with it and just was mad that she had to take me to therapy and I should just get over it because it's not going to happen anymore. And that's just how she is. She goes to work and she comes home and she's exhausted, and if anything is wrong, like when her boyfriend, or now my stepfather, would tell her that I didn't put something away, or I talked back to him and when I didn't, or he blames me for something his son did, she would come in my room and menace me and scream at me and beat the living fuck out of me until I pissed myself, and then act like nothing was wrong. And I should just get over it. Just eat crow and get over it. I often wonder if in my absence she's, taken the initiative to educate herself, to better herself, to grow a little bit of self-awareness, but I don't really have any hope. Anyway, that's my video. I don't have anything nice to say after this. Yeah. Bye.